Welcome, everybody. This is Justin Deschamps for Vigilant News for December 13th, 2021. I'm joined by my co-host, founder of Underground Newswire, Ryan Delarme. Ryan, how's it going?
It's going well. Always a pleasure to be here.
We've got another day of amazing coverage for you. Even though there was no trial date for today, the trial's actually going to happen on Thursday. We've got a lot of awesome information, something definitely you're going to want to check out. Before we get into that, though, as always, check the link in the description for donation for us. You can donate at stillnessinthestorm.com/donate. You can also subscribe at Subscribestar to help us with the funding. Basically, we need donations to help things keep going. So with that, Ryan, what do you got for us today?
Well, the prosecution rested its case on Friday after calling on the final accuser, Annie Pharma. The defense won't be presenting their case until this Thursday, and the word is still out as to whether or not Maxwell herself will be taking the stand. So despite the 3-day break in the trial, there's still plenty of information to go over regarding the final accuser and some crime scene photographs from Epstein and Maxwell's various estates. So we had Annie Pharma take the stand on Friday and explain to jurors how the alleged madam gave her a nude massage and groped her as a teenager at Epstein's Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. Annie Pharma, the only accuser who's chosen to use her full name, said that she was lured to the ranch after meeting Epstein through her sister months prior. She believed the duo viewed her as a student that they may want to help. Pharma said that she was comfortable going to the ranch, in part because Maxwell would be there and she understood Maxwell to be Epstein's girlfriend. While visiting the sprawling estate, Epstein and Maxwell took her shopping, bought her some expensive cowboy boots, and took her to see the film Primal Fear. While waiting for the movie, Epstein and Maxwell began fooling around. During the film, Maxwell pulled Epstein's pants down in front of Pharma, who was 16 at the time, and Epstein began to caress the young girl's leg and foot as he sat between her and Maxwell watching the movie. Sorry, I'm going through my notes. At one point during her visit, Maxwell taught a young Annie how to massage Epstein's feet and asked her if she would like a massage herself. Maxwell set up a massage table in the room that Pharma had been staying in. She then asked the girl to strip down naked. Quote, "She started rubbing my body, my back, and my legs. She was making small talk. Then at some point she had me roll over, so I was laying on my back. She pulled the sheet down and exposed my breasts and started rubbing on my chest and upper breasts," Pharma testified, adding that she felt frozen in fear during the rubdown. "I wanted so badly to get off the table and have this massage be done," she said. The door to the room was open during the massage, and Pharma said that she could sense Epstein could see her, but did not recall him specifically looking at her as Maxwell touched her. Also during the trip, Pharma said that Epstein crawled into bed with her one morning, saying he wanted to cuddle. "He climbed into bed with me, reached his arms around me, pressed his body into mine," she said. "At that time, I just wanted the weekend to be over. I was very aware I was isolated on this ranch with these two people," Pharma told Pomerantz. And as you'll see in some of the pictures coming up, Zorro Ranch doesn't really have roads. It's very isolated. Like you would have to fly in or hike to get there.
Wow, it's terrifying.
Yeah, so I can only imagine how this gal must have felt. When asked to describe the sexualized experiences she had with Epstein and Maxwell that weekend, Pharma said she believed the pair were working to normalize the behavior in an attempt to sexually abuse her. "It was all a pattern of them confusing my boundaries," she said, "making me question myself about what was right and what was not right." She was lured into Maxwell and Epstein's orbit months earlier when she visited her older sister Maria in New York in December of '95. Maria Pharma, an artist, had been working for Epstein and introduced her younger sister to the disgraced financier at his Upper East Side mansion that we've talked about a lot in these broadcasts. During the New York trip, Epstein took the sisters to see a movie and similarly rubbed Annie's foot and arm and held her hand at the show, but stopped touching her when he was in view of Maria, she said. When he touched her at the movie theater in New Mexico in front of Maxwell, he was more blatant, she said. He did not seem to be concerned about hiding his behavior. On cross-examination, Maxwell's defense attorney Laura Menninger sought to downplay the sexual nature of the massage and the time Epstein climbed into bed with her. She asked Pharma if Maxwell touched her nipples during the massage and if Epstein touched her with his erect penis. Pharma responded no to both questions. In addition to the final accuser's testimony, we have a substantial amount of photographs giving a small peek into Epstein and Maxwell's world, which we can get into if you want, unless you want to comment on that.
Yeah. Let's let me have a couple comments real quick. In my mind, listening to all of the coverage that you just had, so we actually got to listen to the testimony from a person who claimed to be a victim, right?
Yes.
I think this is probably going to be something that the media is going to suppress. So the media, first of all, just doesn't like offering a whole lot of details, period, because then they can control the narrative easier. But with something like this, I can almost guarantee if I was a betting man, I'd be putting a lot of money down on the fact that they're probably not going to have key facts about what you just read on major media sites like the New York Times.
They'll probably cherry pick the little bits that make it seem kind of like not that bad.
Exactly, because what we just heard, and as I'm sure everybody is watching can attest to, it sounds pretty damning. I mean, a 16-year-old girl was brought to a ranch that ostensibly her father or her mother couldn't go and pick her up if anything happened. They're watching, Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein are watching movies together, and Ghislaine just starts to pull this guy's pants down. I mean, I can only imagine what that felt like in that girl. And I don't have children, but I want to be a father one day. If my daughter if I heard that my daughter went through that experience, I would be livid. So
it makes you wonder, like, what's up with her sister? Why she would hook her up with these people? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe she did know, and she's just the kind of amoral person. Maybe she herself is a victim of sexual assault, in which case it's normalized to her, so she doesn't even think that there's any problem. All sorts of things can happen like that. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that even though there's no trial coverage, or it's trial today and it's not picking up till next week, we still have a lot of truth bombs coming out that are going to help, peel back the curtain a lot for a lot of people. So good coverage there.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and I'm going to share screen and we'll get to see some of these photos.
Oh yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of these photos are quite revealing. I don't know if we've ever seen something like this.
Did you get to look over them?
I did get to look over some of them.
These are just crime scene sketches from Friday, I believe.
Okay.
And this is Annie giving her testimony.
Right. She definitely captured the kind of sad, dejected state of Annie.
Oh yeah.
In the sketch.
You get to see it in a photograph coming up here too.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Oh wow. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. This is a girl who has, I would argue that we're looking at shame right now. Obviously, I don't know. So this is entirely possible something else is happening. And you got to be careful when reading body language. Just because you see a face doesn't mean that it's unequivocally proof of anything. You have to have a normal baseline. But it looks like shame.
It doesn't seem like this is something she wants to be known for.
Exactly. One of the things that happens, and it's tragic with a lot of abuse, is that even when you have a total victim, so the victim in this case did nothing wrong, she was lured into a manipulated situation, she's still going to feel shame associated with that, because anytime you engage in an act that you feel like is socially deplorable or taboo, doesn't matter whether you're coaxed in it or not, you're going to feel like your person has been besmirched, and you're going to wear that on your face.
Unless you're just a complete sociopath or you're just detached from reality.
Exactly. So this looks like, what do we have? Is this the Zorro Ranch right here?
Zorro Ranch, yeah.
Let me see if I can get a bigger image of it here. Interesting.
Beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
I'm sure a bunch of fun occult stuff happens back at that sundial.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm curious what the north-south orientation is on some of those.
Great place for some implications.
Yeah, Zorro. I wonder if there's any, occult significance to Zorro.
I like to imagine Epstein is just being a huge Zorro fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to. Zoom has this thing where it puts a bar across your screen and then you can't do anything about it. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is
a sketch of her testifying during the 2019 hearing with Epstein while he's still alive.
Wow, this is like just before he committed suicide.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? So this is the island.
This is some of St. James. Yeah.
Yeah, St. James.
Little St. James.
Little St. James right here. Interesting. Okay.
Which, weirdly enough, Disney cruises filled with children would stop at these islands.
You're kidding, really?
No, yeah. Wow. It was just like a little stop off.
What the heck were they doing there?
Just letting people get out and stretch their legs and like get used to being on land for a second. I have no idea.
Right. There's another photo of St. James. This is the infamous Egyptian temple thing. Where is that in relation to? I'm not so sure.
Okay. It always seemed like it was on some kind of peak or cliff like that.
Yeah. All right.
Not a bad
Another
spot.
photo of St. James. I believe we're looking at a helicopter pad to the right here. Another photo, no trespassing.
Interestingly enough, if you look at the island from Google Maps, you can find some weird anomalies with the place. Like there was a kind of like a field where it looked like it was like the kind of place where you could, you know, maybe hold some kind of like ceremonial magic kind of like deal. But they superimposed a tennis court over top of it.
Oh yeah.
But you can go in the Wayback Machine and see exactly what it looks like. We actually have pictures of it in an older article I did a few years back. Yeah.
Okay, you showed me that the other day. Yeah, and, that's pretty revealing.
Yeah, there's got to be why would they cover that up?
Exactly. Here's the temple again.
Yeah, I wish I could remember what it was supposed to be a replica of.
No windows on this temple that I can see anyway.
There is windows on two sides going straight, so you can look straight through it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I saw it in the drone footage.
Oh, I guess this is on the right hand side here. This is what we're seeing. One of the
but
windows.
There's like a hatch in the middle of the room in that temple, so it goes under. This is just the top. Everything is below this temple.
Oh, and that might be why it's up in this high. Yeah, it's high up like that because underneath there's some type of a complex.
And there are ventilation shafts sticking out in different parts of the island. You know, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to sometime go through that old article and just kind of like pull up all the stuff on.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Let's do that. Let's get that on the docket here. Okay, we looked at that one, What do we have here? A view of Epstein's stone mansion on Little St. James Island. So this is his mansion. Looks like some kind of statuette or figurine right here. I don't know what that is. Maybe Poseidon?
Maybe.
Yeah, the Cabal are very into Greek and Roman gods, the pantheon of gods.
Especially the Hollywood branch.
Yep, absolutely. And we have another dock here. It looks like there's a sundial here. That's quite interesting. Could be used for all sorts of purposes. Fake cow, it looks like. So these are all photos that came out today, I think.
That was Mulak.
Yeah, Mulak, exactly. So these are photos that came out today. Is that what you were saying? Friday.
Well, actually, over the course of the whole case, but the greater amount of this batch came out around then. Yeah, New York Post put together a nice post full of images.
I see. And this is House of Horrors that once stood on the idyllic waterfront plot in Florida. Oh, so this is the Florida.
Yeah, Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Oh, looks like the place got dismantled.
Yeah, I think they were tearing it down. This was earlier this year. That was in April of this year. They were just destroying it.
Wow.
Some guy bought it and just had it demolished.
No kidding. That's quite revealing. This is inside the home.
I find it strange that this guy was so rich, and like some of these rooms seem to be millions of dollars worth of stuff in them on their own.
Mhm.
But then you'll see things in some of these pictures, like phones from the 90s still being like
Right.
used and things like this.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Oh, this is the one we saw last week.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like all that impressed. I thought it was going to be a lot more lavish.
Well, there are some rooms, especially the studies, that look
Yeah.
just beautiful. Like, I'm
Right.
very envious.
Here we got a checkerboard floor, which, you know, the Masonic conspiracists out there will appreciate.
Yeah.
Um,
Look at that phone.
oh yeah, look at that phone. Yeah, it's like
Look at that TV. Like, you got all this stuff at
Yeah.
Goodwill or something.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't even used for years. Who knows? I mean,
Right, probably.
wicker chairs. Oh wow, look at that. That's
That's
a
so nice.
pretty lavish bathroom. What was going on in there?
Sure,
And then
nothing
you
but
have,
PG activity was going
yeah,
on there.
and whoops. And then we have, I'm curious what we got on these
That's
pictures
interesting
here.
looking.
I mean, we have, that looks like a torso.
This looks like a person kind of like is
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
stick
yeah.
their own head up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like laying on their knees, trying to get prostrate.
And if you scroll down, you'll see that phone again.
Yeah, there's another phone, the infamous phone. That's really the thing we should be paying attention
Yeah, I think people don't give it the phone enough.
Tons of books. I mean, I'd love to know what was in his library.
How to diddle kids on a
Pretty
global
much.
scale.
Yeah, exactly. Important message book. I don't know what that is. That looks like some kind of mesh of some type. Wonder if we can, oh no, still pretty blurred out.
Damn.
Can't really make anything out. So yeah, as you can see, there's a bunch of photos. If you're interested to look at all these, by the way, as we're going through, I'm trying to move through as quickly as possible. The link in the article, the featured article, is what we're looking at right now. So go ahead and check that out. I'll just try to go through a few quick ones here. This, what are we looking at? This is circle. This is supposed to be bullets.
That is where the Jeffrey Epstein insignia used to be.
Oh, I see. Okay, so these like drill holes or something.
Yeah.
Construction workers out in Manhattan. State. What do we have here? Do we have?
I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
Who exactly bought it? It was somebody. I think he must have worked with that Bear Stearns when he was there. Somebody bought the place, and yeah, they said that they're giving it a physical and spiritual renovation.
Cleansing. Yeah, lots of sage burning in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. But if you're a guy working at Bear Stearns, you're probably not the most
right. Apparently, I believe there's a documentary series, 3 parts, 2 to 3 hours a piece, detailing the hidden symbolism of DC and various other cities. And unfortunately, I can't remember the name. If I remember the name, I'll try to mention it before the video closes out. But in there, they discuss how the elite use busts to indicate things. And I don't know it's hard to tell, but apparently a bust with corn behind the ears is supposed to signify a symbolic representation of Lucifer. Okay, this is one of the ones that looks quite lavish.
Yeah.
This is in his full study lounge in New York, I believe. I mean, look at that carpet. That carpet itself is probably like 100 grand. Not to mention the marble encasing around the fireplace. You know, the lavish wood around the whole place. Yeah, so clearly this guy had money. No surprise there. And this is the view of what looks like Central Park.
In a terrace. This was the massage room.
Looks like we got some other interesting things happening here.
You got your goos, your gels, your tinctures.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, he had quite the massage room, it looks like. Yeah, it's the tapes.
Yeah, we know all about that.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. There were a bunch of photos in here.
Yeah, I think this is all that they had for
main staircase. Another lavish. What in God's name is that thing? Look at that. What is that supposed to be? I wonder.
Looks like Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, or like John D. Rockefeller or something like that.
Yeah, right.
I would love to know what's behind these redacted names here.
Right, yeah.
And the Zorro Ranch. Z for Zorro. Does that mean something else? It's got a tail on it. Look at that tail. Holy mackerel.
Oh yeah, a little pitchfork tail.
Little pitchfork tail.
The Z in that shape is definitely like the Zorro / Z. But I don't remember there being like a pitchfork at the end of it. Like that.
Yeah, well, the other thing that's interesting too is that the left-hand path, if I remember correctly, developed by Crowley for the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, used the Kabbalah tree of life, and it had the 777 path, which is the reason they call it 777, because it zigzags like this and it makes a Z symbol. So perhaps there's some connection here. I'm not sure. Looks like we got some more Zorro stuff here. They're quite of the place.
And the pilot who testified that said he's never saw any wrongdoing actually has a home on there somewhere.
Yes, you mentioned that. 45-acre estate, I believe.
Yeah. So I suspect if you go back up that he owns all of that, everything we can see in this picture pretty much.
Epstein, all the land we're looking at here.
And, and his pilot's got a property on there somewhere.
Interesting. Isn't it interesting that his pilot was somebody who was close to him and had access to his estate, and then Ghislaine was also a submarine pilot who had access to his estate. Yeah, you know.
Even Joe Biden has a submarine dock, and he has an island not too far away from Little St. James.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, so I imagine like when you're in the upper echelon of society and you may or may not be in some kind of transgenerational cult.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have some submarining. You might have more incentive to get your submarine license.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's another lavish library here. Yeah.
We'll have one of those.
Yeah, one day it'll be filled with a lot better books than I'm sure he's got. Yeah, so I mean, there's just try to zip through some of these, not to make this video too long, but there's a lot of obvious things here with respect to indications he's very well off. And some things in my mind that stick out is, you know, is there something else happening here? So that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. We will likely have another update as we approach Thursday. Definitely on Thursday, we'll start picking up the daily updates again. And we'll also start doing some other type news videos to get you the news and information you know and love. So thank you so much for listening and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And if you haven't already, check out, go to stillnessinthestorm.com/ascent. In there, you'll also find a link to it in the description of the video. We have a special sale going on right now for pine pollen. Stuff is selling out real fast. I strongly suggest you pick some up. It can help with a lot of the issues we're dealing with right now. Rejuvenate your immune system, support lung health, all sorts of things. It's selling real fast, so definitely pick that up.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, if you enjoy watching these nightly updates, but you would like to hear about something beyond the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, let us know, because we're considering just doing a little news brief every night.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Cool. Well, with that, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.